Hey folks, I'm Dave Ramsey. I do a talk radio show called The Dave Ramsey Show, where about 15 to 20 million people join us every week talking about life and money. Our company's Ramsey Solutions, and joining me is one of our Ramsey personalities, we call them, speaker on the same stages that I'm on, teacher with me, is Chris Hogan, #1 best-selling author 2 times over. And hey, we want to talk to those of you that are CEOs, CFOs, C-suiters, and those of you in the HR area today, because right now these are stressful, weird, and wacky times. Your team is freaking out about their money. A lot of you are freaking out about the stress of just making payroll. We got about 1,000 folks on our team at Ramsey, and I got to tell you, over the last several weeks, there's a time or two, my stomach's been up here right up next to my throat. And we teach you a lot of stuff on leadership and staying calm and deliberate in leadership. And our job in leadership, we tell our team, and we tell people when we're teaching leadership, is to serve. Yeah. And that's to take care of our team and take care of our customers. And I know you feel that same way too. And so there's all kinds of opportunities and ways to serve right now in the middle of a pandemic and in the middle of an economic crisis that may dwarf the actual medical crisis before it's over. The first thing I want to tell you is I'm old and I've been through several things not dissimilar to this. Things where we thought the world was coming to an end. Things where there was a lot of drama. And I've led through those in business as a leader. And you have too, a lot of you. And I got to remind you, we're going to be okay. Things are going to change after this permanently for some of our businesses and our structures and our delivery mechanisms, but we're going to be okay. One of the things we do, and probably that we're best known for at Ramsey, is we teach people how to handle money. We teach them how to get out of debt, how to live on a budget, how to have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And those that have followed our teaching, including ourselves, they're sitting there with an emergency fund right now and no debt. They're pretty thankful in times like this.
They really are, Dave. And you come to find out having that emergency fund is a safety net. It gives you a cushion. But here's the reality. A lot of people don't know where to begin and how to do this. And that's one of the things that we've prided ourselves on here at Ramsey Solutions for over 30 years. We know the process and we've got it down pat.
78% of Americans before Corona were living paycheck to paycheck. 8 out of 10 houses on your street had too much month left at the end of the money. 39% couldn't cover a $400 emergency. And if they lost their jobs this week, or last week, or the week before, they're in real trouble right this second because they had absolutely no margin. And they're in a mess. And that's just really most people. And so we've been teaching that group of people, regular humans, how to handle money to not only get prepared for times like this, but to also prosper when things are going really good. Now, these times are really unprecedented, and the government is throwing a bunch of things at you. Right now, one of the things they did is, of course, they threw a stimulus package at you. $1,200 for each individual, $2,400 for a married couple, $500 per kid, and that's a nice thing. I mean, $1,200 is helpful, sure. But the truth is, $1,200 isn't a lot of money.
No. And Dave, trust me, if $1,200 changes your life was already in a tough spot. But one of the other frustrating things they did, Dave, throughout that, is they allowed people to be able to access their 401k.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. The market is down. This is exactly the time to not take money out of your 401k. Unless you're doing it to avoid a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. You need to ride this market out. I've ridden this market a couple times, and nobody gets hurt on a roller coaster except those people who jump off in the middle of the ride, baby. And so you need to ride it down, ride it up, be calm, don't panic. No one makes good decisions when they're panicked. These are the kinds of messages we're putting out to the public, the folks that work on your teams, and even to some of you, to remind you of these things. And yeah, we increased the ability to borrow on the 401k, as if that wasn't already a blight on the 401k program, a curse on that program. So now instead of $50,000, now we can borrow $100,000 on it, which is a disaster. It tears up the whole baseline of what the whole 401k is about.
That's exactly right.
And so, these are the kinds of things, the government is throwing stuff at them, and some of it will be somewhat helpful. Some of it is just plain reckless. And so it's a problem. Don't get caught up in this. So just, you have to use common sense. You have to keep a cool head in the middle of these things. Now, here's the truth. You got to have a plan that works.
Yes. Dave, it's so very important. We tell people and we guide them, but too many times people are trying to do 10 things at once, and it makes you ineffective all the way around. And so we've got to help people see clearly. Dave has taught for years that you have to take care of the four walls, making sure you're taking care of your housing, your rent or your mortgage, making sure you're taking care of your utilities, and also making sure you have food on the table, but also being able to have reliable transportation to get you to and from. But Dave, you developed a plan, and it's a plan that not only works, but it's changed my life and millions of lives out there.
Well, and it's really not rocket science, but the whole problem with financial issues is when things are going well or when they're not, you got all these different options coming at you. Do I invest in my 401k? Do I put money in my kid's college fund? What about life insurance? What about paying off this credit card? What about Sally Mae? She's been in my house so long she needs her own bedroom. We've got all these dadgum problems coming at us and opportunities coming at us with money, and we don't know what to do. And so what most people do is they go to the mall. And they spend money. That's what most people do. And so when in doubt, do something stupid.
Do something crazy.
And it's just, and these are the folks that depend on you guys. You're giving them the money to live. And they're coming in asking for a raise. They're stressed out financially because you can't get your work done when MasterCard and Discover Card are calling you.
That's right.
And, American Distress is on the phone. It just messes up everything. And so it affects productivity at the company. It affects relationships. Yeah. And so the baby steps plan was to blow the fog off of all of that and bring great, simple clarity. And when you get that, it's just like, oh, there's a sense of power. Sometimes people call it, you empowered me. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. What you really had is you already had the power. I just showed you this is the shortest distance between 2 points. If you want to go to the beach, here's how you get to Florida. And take this road and don't get off at that exit and don't get off at that exit. It's dangerous and keep going. That's the one you get off and get your fuel and then you get back on. And the baby steps are a simple 7-step plan. We start with $1,000 saved as a beginner starter emergency fund. And then we work off your debt with the debt snowball, everything but your house, listing your debts smallest to largest, right, paying minimum payments on everything but the little one. And then when you don't have any payments except your house, then you can go on to baby step 3.
That's exactly right. And this is where you begin to have some money saved up for the very first time. We teach people to have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a money market account, just waiting on life to happen and to sit there and to be prepared. And once you do that, then you move into baby step 4. This is where you start to prepare for your future. I'm talking about the high definition dreams you have down in your heart. You want to invest 15% of your household income toward retirement. And then, Dave, you start working on college.
Yeah, and once college is underway, we attack the house and get the house paid off. And then baby step 7 is you are debt-free and there's nothing left to do but build wealth. Now, here's what's interesting. Chris had a #1 best-selling book called Everyday Millionaires. And it's the summation of the largest study of millionaires in America that's ever been done. Now, here's an opportunity, if you run a company, that you could do for your team. What we found was, very simply, there's 10,000 millionaires we studied, by far the largest piece of airtight research ever done on millionaires. #1, we found that 90-some-odd% of them were not millionaires because of inherited money. 79% literally inherited zero.
That's right.
What we did find, though, there were 2 primary things that caused them, if they had a net worth of under $5 million, the 2 primary things that caused them to be able to become millionaires, your assets minus your liabilities, what you own minus what you owe is your net worth. Right. 2 primary things that did that, and you can help with both of them, and we help with both of them.
We sure do, Dave. One of the biggest things was the #1 tool said that people were investing. They were using employer-sponsored retirement plans to save for the future. Get this. People that have amassed a net worth of $1 million. Why? Because of programs that you all offer that are available to your team members.
The second thing was they paid off their home an average of 10.2 years. And some of them doing it in 6 or 7 years, some of them doing it in 12 or 14 years.
That's right.
But they weren't fooling around with mortgages, so they were getting that house paid off. Now, here's what's interesting. You take someone with a net worth of $1.5 million, $1 million of it was in the company 401k. Now, if I owned a company or I was an HR person and someone at our company became a millionaire because of our 401k, I would be busting with pride, and you should be too. What an opportunity. And you think those folks are sitting in a different place in the middle of this crisis? I can promise you they are. And the house is completely paid
for.
Off.
Absolutely.
Baby step 6.
It's amazing.
Pay off the house.
Yes.
And so it's a fairly simple thing. We find they had about a $500,000 house, and they had about $1 million in their 401k, $1.5 million net worth. That was about the ratio every time, about 2/3 to 1/3 roughly. And so, $3 million net worth is often a $2 million 401k Roth IRA package, right? And about $1 million house, or maybe a little piece of rental property mixed in there. We saw that time and time and time again, so much so that it became kind of the persona of the average millionaire. And the cool thing is that companies simply were putting a 401k over there. Now, here's the problem. You can't put money in the 401k if you got student loan debt, credit card debt, car payments, no budget, you and your spouse aren't in agreement with money, and there's not a clear plan on how to get there. But if you get all that out of the way, we can set you up where you're putting 15% away, and maybe your company matches.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. What a cool thing. Talk about a healing for your team. See, I pay out millions and millions of dollars in payroll to our 1,000 folks. Millions, tens of millions of dollars. I'd really like to know that, A, I'm taking care of those folks, doing a good job for them, loving them well. B, they're working their butts off, getting some work done, because we got to do that around here too. And then C, that they get to live their dreams because they were on our team. And when you do that, man, it sets up a whole different reason for HR. It sets up a whole different reason for this payroll. These aren't just robots we're extracting work out of. These are humans with dreams, and we get to be a part of them getting to live that dream.
Dave, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I want to help you HR executives and directors of human resources and C-suite executives really understand something. Your team is counting on you. You have an opportunity to impact their lives in a way like no one else can. You can help guide them. You can help show them what they can do to help them polish themselves and to become better. And so you have a unique opportunity to show them that they matter to you and that you care about them by helping them work a plan that actually works.
And so that sets them up in times that are rough like this to make the turn and survive. It sets them up when times are prosperous to prosper even more. These are the plans that work in good times and work in bad times. They're God's and Grandma's ways of handling money. They used to be called common sense, but it's so rare now. Common sense is like having a superpower. So we're doing some different things here at Ramsey, and we've been doing this a long time. As a matter of fact, it's fairly easy to make the statement that the folks at Ramsey Solutions under this brand have gotten more people out of debt and created more millionaires with our teachings and them following our teachings than any other organization in North America. We've been doing it a long time. We're the best known brand in this space by far. We pretty much invented what you call financial wellness. And so, we actually own financialwellness.com. So we were there first. There's a reason. This is what we do. Today, we got a couple things we want to give you for free to help you. Nothing. Just give it to you. We're in a position to do that right now. It's a business pivot that we are making that we've never done before in this space, but we're doing it because of the wacky, weird environment that we're in right now. First, if you have had to lay someone off, get in touch with us immediately, and we will make what we call Smart Dollar, which is our curriculum that walks them through the baby steps, gets them out of debt, gets them on a budget, shows them how to handle themselves in this situation. We will make Smart Dollar available to your laid off employees for free through the end of the year. That is unprecedented. Now, Smart Dollar being spread out across all the employees, Aldi has taught it to all their employees through us, through their HR programs. Costco has done the same thing. And Sonic has done the same thing. So lots of big companies have done this. It's proven successful. It's kind of fun when you and I walk in Costco. As a matter of fact, we get high fives from the employees because they know us from the videos teaching them how to do this. And it's very rewarding to see cashier going, Dave, I'm getting out of debt, when they're checking me out there and getting my water out the door, or whatever it is I'm buying. So, it's pretty fun stuff. So if you've had to lay someone off, get in touch with us, and we'll give them Smart Dollar through the end of the year. If you want to take your current team through Smart Dollar, we will give you a free test drive on it. We'll give you a free trial on it. And get in touch with our team, and we'll arrange that. And we want you guys to be able to help your teams during these uncertain times. And they need this particular information right now more than they need just about anything else. As of the time that Chris and I are sitting here right now, for every single case of coronavirus in the U.S., over 100 people have lost their jobs due to the corona shutdown. And so lots of families are being impacted on the economic side. The virus side is very scary. We don't know, understand all that. I don't know. I'm not a medical person. It's crazy out there. But the economic side I understand, and it's crazy out there, and it's affecting actually more people, 100 more people to the one than the actual virus itself is affecting today. So those numbers may change, but both unemployment and the virus growth are on a geometric progression. They're on a curve mathematically. So I don't think those numbers are probably going to change. The ratio is going to change much. So we have the opportunity to serve our teams right now, and we're giving you the tools free, a free test drive for your current team members, and Smart Dollar for your laid off folks through the end of the year, completely free. The way you do that, you go to smartdollar.com/hope, and everything you need to get started is right there. Our team will get in touch with you depending on the size of your business. We'll get you categorized and prioritized. We'll get you in a slot, and we'll get you and your team and even your former team taken care of. If I was unemployed and my former employer called me and said, hey, we want to show you how to help with your money. Now, some of them might be angry or bitter,
right,
and they might not react well to that, but most people would just be straight up grateful.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. That's not anything that anyone ever does. So you've got an opportunity to be different, to be that kind of company that actually cares about the people on your team. Now, I want you to hear me. You've probably heard the word wellness before, and you've seen some products out there. There's a lot of programs that involve people going into debt, not getting out of it. So I want you to understand something. Smart Dollar is different. Dave, myself, and Rachel Cruz are all teaching. We engage people because we care about people. And so you're going to have an opportunity to help your team learn about money like they never have before.
So let me tell you what real financial wellness is. It's when someone's finances become well because they learned how to handle them. It's not a payday lender. Come on. There's some trash out there coming in under this heading, and it needs to stop. We're teachers. That's all we are. We're not here to sell them something. We're not here to slick them. We're not here to fleece them. We're just teaching them. And that's real financial wellness. Folks just need hope right now. They need a plan, and ambiguity, not knowing, will drive you nuts. Yeah. And if you've got a plan in your personal life, you got a plan in your business for what's going to happen with revenue changes, you got a plan in your business what's going to happen with the expense changes in the middle of this craziness, then you've got a sense of peace that the people who are disconnected and floating in their anxiety just do not have. Our mission at Ramsey is just to help people transform their lives, to help people have hope that's real. Not some kind of false positive thinking that, guru thing, but instead, here's a plan, follow this plan. If you plant corn, corn will grow. If you plant corn, corn will grow. As you sow, so shall you reap. It is really not rocket science. You've just got to do this stuff, and it's an opportunity for you to love your people well, and we're giving it to you free. I mean, what else do we need to do? So get in touch with us at smartdollar.com/hope. Thank you guys for being in the chairs you're in right now, for leading with the courage you're leading with, and for holding American business together. This is the greatest country the world has ever known, and the other side of coronavirus, it still will be.